So, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the channel, by the way. My name is Christopher Snyder, and I build AI automations and workflows for businesses. And for today's build, what we're going to hop into is a all-in-one email workflow. And this email workflow has 5 different types of AI agents within it, and each with its own corresponding task as well. And I'm so excited to show you guys this new build today. And without further ado, I'll put on my screen recorder and let's get into this workflow. Alright, so we have our workflow pulled up right now, and we're going to go to this first step. And if you're not familiar with n8n's platform in general, each and every single workflow does start with an initial trigger. And obviously, for our email workflow, what we're going to have is our initial email trigger. So basically all you have to do for this step is just input your business email, and that initial email trigger is just going to be the email on that initial trigger is going to receive all of your incoming emails. So basically, whichever email does come into that specific email address that you do put into this initial trigger, it's just going to be responsible for receiving all of your incoming inboxes. So that's going to be it for that step. And for this step right here, the next step, we have our email classifier. So what the email classifier is going to do is whichever prompt that you do have inside of these specific categories within the classifier is going to be responsible for sending that to the specified agent and have it fulfill that task. So like I said, you can get really specific with these parameters that you do set inside of these categories, and it will be responsible for sending it to the corresponding agents. And like I said, so we have our new customer response agent, we have our customer support agent, our feedback response agent, our business inquiry agent, and then also our marketing funnel agent, for example. So yeah, that's gonna be it for that step. Also, one thing I forgot to mention as well is it is important to have your LLM model. So basically where it says model down here, you're going to be inputting your corresponding LLM accordingly to your email classifier. So, I mean, it's really up to preference. I personally love using OpenRouter because it provides every single LLM model that you can think of. So like Claude, Anthropic, ChatGPT, it can basically, you can input any type of AI or LLM model that you do wish, or whatever your preference is. So I love using OpenRouter. Like I said, all you have to do is just create an account and then create your API key wherever that module is, and then just connecting it with your email classifier. So yeah, that's going to be it for that step. Alright, so what we have here is our new customer response agent, and what this agent is going to be responsible for is all of the incoming, so basically if a customer does purchase a product on your website, for example, and for example for this specific workflow, I went with a e-commerce knowledge base. So basically this is going to be more so tailored for like e-commerce businesses. So if you have products on your website, it's going to be more so correspondent to that. It's not more so like respected for like a lead generation website or something like that. It's just going to be more so tailored for e-commerce specific websites. Like I said, you can really mix and match stuff. It's really not too complicated if you want to switch up this workflow a bit and make it something that's more correspondent to something where you want to make it more so lead generated. But like I said, for this example, it's just going to be a e-commerce based workflow. And what this specific agent for new customer response is basically whenever you do have a customer that does purchase a new product on your website, or whether it applies for like your email list, for example, this specific agent will be responsible for sending out all of your information. So basically, like when they'll send like some like discounts, for example, or like specific discount emails, any specific information that you do want to put into your script, basically that agent will take care of some of your marketing needs, like I said, but it's only going to be triggered when your customer does purchase a product on your website or subscribes to your specific email list. So it's not going to be your marketing funnel per se or your marketing agent. It's just going to be tailored for new customers specifically. But then at least with, when you do have, like I said, a new customer to your website, you can, like I said, just give it basic information. And like I said, you can really, mix and match stuff up. You can really just kind of do whatever you want to set your script for parameters. But like I said, this is just going to be handling your, just specifically for new customers and just sending details and specific emails that you do want to send out to it. So yeah, that's going to be it for that step. Alright, and so for our next step, we have our customer support agent. And obviously, kind of self-explanatory, this agent is going to be responsible for any inquiries for like refunds, or like if they have questions about like specific policies, or just any information whatsoever that you do have on your website, and whichever the customer is curious about, this agent is going to handle that customer's needs specifically. So what I love about customer support agents is, it's one thing I find with other businesses as well personally, like whenever I do want to send emails to businesses, and they won't respond for like days on end, and it's kind of insane. But when you have an agent like this, it's so useful, and I guarantee you your customer response feedback will just increase so much because of it. Because like I said, essentially, like it's going to give it tailored responses based on the data that you do input inside of this agent. You can basically just like input all of your policy or FAQ notes inside of this agent, and then whichever the customer is curious about, whichever question it does ask, the customer support agent is going to handle it, which is so essential for your business. It's insane. And it's very surprising how many businesses do not have, this specific agent, but it is so useful. So useful. And like I said, this is definitely one of my favorite agents that I do like to build for the most part, just because I think people do have customer support agents, but it is not as much as you would think initially. Because there are some, websites that I do look at, and they do have customer support agents, and like I said, it is kind of useful, but at the same time, even some of those customer support agents, it's like they'll only just receive the input that it has, but it won't give any tailored responses based off the message that is sent initially. So what this agent just does one step better is it gives tailored responses based off whatever question the customer does ask about in the first place, whether it's about policies, like I said, FAQs, refunds, returns, etc. Whichever data you do have that you do want to input into this customer support agent, it will give tailored responses accordingly, which is just so essential for any e-commerce based business. But basically that's going to be it for that step. Alright, so for our next agent that we have here, it is going to be our feedback response agent. But what this agent is going to provide specifically is, say you have a customer that has expressed a lot of dissatisfaction, let's just say, in that specific email, or has given a very positive response. Basically, whatever incentives that you have for your business, so whatever discounts or promos that you're offering, that you can basically just offer that to your customer that does express great gratitude towards your business, or maybe it's a customer that just maybe didn't receive the best service. Basically, what this agent is going to do is it is your pure incentivizing agent. And I feel like this is very essential, because for customer support, it's just handling, just all your inquiries in general. But it's kind of just like a little bit of a step above it. So basically, it's just providing your customers with the best support that it possibly can have. And so it will be very, very difficult to just have a customer that just walks away dissatisfied in general. That is what this specific agent is going to provide for your business. And I feel like it's very essential. I feel like not enough businesses do this whenever, I'm going through email workflows and funnels that I do find in a lot of these businesses. There is very rarely like a specific agent for a task that does like just provide such incentive for customers that are just not particularly satisfied in your business, or customers that are satisfied and you just want to give them a little bit of a reward for their efforts and just showing their gratitude. It just gives your business such positive feedback, and I feel like it's so essential to each and every business. So that's why I implemented it into this workflow as well. That's gonna be it for this step, so let's go on to the next agent. Alright, so for this next agent that we have here is going to be our business development agent. And what this agent is going to provide for you is basically just handling all your business inquiry inboxes. So, like I said, some businesses, I will say, probably wouldn't be a fan of this, but I did want to include it just in case, people, or in case some businesses are interested in, collabing or working with other business owners as well. It'll just handle all your business inquiry needs. But I could definitely see how it could get a bit annoying, just, having people constantly fill up your inbox with like, hey, I want to work with you in your business. So I can see how it would be a bit annoying, but I did want to include this in this workflow because I feel like for some businesses it is necessary. And some people do want to work with other business owners as well. And like I said, I just wanted to include this in there. I could see how it could be a bit tedious and annoying, but I still want to include it into this workflow because I feel like it could be valuable to some businesses who are looking for other people to partner or collab with, for example. So that's basically what this agent can provide for you. Let's move on to the next step. All right, so for this final agent that we do have here is going to be our marketing response agent. And this is the one that I am most excited, that I was most excited to build initially. This is basically just going to be your all-in-one marketing agent. So basically whichever funnel that you do have for your business initially, or if you do want to connect with someone else and have a specific funnel set in place for your email list, this is what this agent is going to be responsible for, and just setting it into different locations accordingly. And this is just going to be your all-in-one marketing agent. This is the one that I was most excited about because I do not see a lot of these in these workflows that I do see on YouTube. But this is one is just going to handle all of your marketing needs and handle your entire email list that you have for your business. Like I said, I don't see a lot of these agents, in a lot of these workflows on YouTube. So that's why I was just so excited to build this agent specifically, because I believe that this one does provide a lot of value for your business because it is so simple and easy to just automate and just input your funnel inside of the specific script, whichever funnel that you do have, or whichever one you prefer, or if you want to work with someone else to have a funnel set up for your email marketing list. That is what this agent will provide and send the customer accordingly. So that's why I was just so excited to build this agent. And also for one last step as well, we have, as you can see here for each of these agents, we have our language models below each of them. As you can see here, like I said, we have, OpenRouter chat model, but basically it's just connecting it to your initial chat model that you do have here inside this email classifier. And it's just going to be basically your LLM, like I said. Basically, it's just going to be the brain for your agent and just how it's going to handle your responses accordingly. So that's why it's essential to have your LLM inside of each email or specific email agent that you do have. So like I said, I have 5 different agents, but one LLM under each and every single one of these agents. So like I said, that's going to be it for the agent step, and we're going to be moving on to the next steps accordingly. All right, and so for this final segment that we have here is as you can see here on this workflow, we have our triggers that we have set up to basically just give the customer the initial response that they need. So when the email gets classified, it gets sent out to the following agent. And then, like I said, these 5 triggers here are just simply giving back the response that the customer needs. Simple stuff, right? And then after that, we can see these 5 triggers here after the responses. These 5 triggers here are going to be responsible for labeling your initial customer email. So basically, we can set this up inside of your business email, and it is going to have corresponding labels within that email. So this is just going to be your new customer label that's within your email: customer support, product feedback, business partnership, and marketing. So it's just setting up these labels inside of your business email, so everything is nice, neat, and organized. So whenever you do want to inquire on these specific emails, like I said, it's just organizing it accordingly. So, you don't have to, look through just your whole entire inbox in general. It will just already be set and organized within your business email. And yeah, with that being said, that basically is going to summarize this entire email workflow. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed building out this whole workflow, because it was such a joy to build, and I feel like this workflow truly does summarize everything that is great about just having an all-around email workflow. I feel like this provides so much value to any business that does want to implement this into their own personal business. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. And if you are a business out there that does want to work with me, make sure you go to my YouTube profile, and I will have my business email if you do want to work with me on having something like this implemented into your business as well. So with that being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and make sure to look out for the next video, and I will see you all later.